I never thought I'd hear these words come out of my husband's mouth. It was late, the house was quiet, and we were curled up on the couch when he turned to me with a look I couldn't quite place, half nervous, half excited. Then he said it, a request so unexpected, so out of character, that I had to ask him to repeat himself just to make sure I heard it right. At first, I laughed, thinking it was some kind of joke, but the way he held my gaze told me he was serious. My heart pounded, a rush of emotions hitting me all at once. Curiosity, confusion, even a little fear. Was this something he had been thinking about for a long time? Or was it just a passing thought he decided to voice out loud? As I sat there, trying to process everything, a million questions ran through my mind. Why now? What did this mean for our marriage? And, most importantly, was I ready for what he was asking? I took a deep breath, staring at him, waiting for him to say more. But all I could see was the anticipation in his eyes. And that's when I knew this night was about to change everything. I swallowed hard, my mind racing as I searched his face for more clues. Was this really happening? We had always been open with each other, but this was something else entirely. My husband wasn't the type to blurt out wild fantasies or test boundaries just for fun. If he was bringing this up now, it had to mean something deeper. I shifted in my seat, my pulse quickening. Why? The word came out softer than I expected, almost hesitant. He exhaled slowly, as if choosing his words carefully. I don't know. I just think it could be exciting. Something different. His voice was steady, but I could see the tension in his hands, the way he rubbed his fingers together like he was afraid of how I might react. Something different. That phrase lingered in my mind. Different could mean a lot of things. It could bring us closer or pull us apart. I looked at him, searching for something, reassurance, explanation, anything to help me understand. His eyes held a mix of excitement and uncertainty, like he was waiting for my reaction before he let himself fully commit to what he had just said. A strange mix of emotions swirled inside me. Was this about him? About us? Had he been holding on to this for a while, afraid to say it out loud? Or was this some kind of test, a way to see how far I was willing to go? I felt a lump in my throat. Is this something you really want? My voice was steady, but inside, I wasn't sure if I wanted to hear the answer. He hesitated, then nodded. I think so. Silence stretched between us, thick with tension. My mind raced with questions, but one stood out the most. If I said yes, what would that mean for us? I could hear my own heartbeat in the silence that followed. My husband watched me carefully, waiting. The weight of his request sat between us like an invisible force, pressing down on my chest. A part of me wanted to brush it off, to pretend he had never said it. But another part, one I wasn't sure I wanted to acknowledge, was curious. Not just about the request itself, but about why he wanted this. Was it about me? About us? Or was there something deeper, something he hadn't put into words yet? I took a slow breath. And after? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. What happens then? His jaw tensed, like he had thought about this, but wasn't sure how to say it. I don't know, he admitted. I just know I want to see where this could go. I held his gaze, feeling the ground shift beneath us. I stared at him, trying to process everything, but before I could speak, his phone buzzed on the table. He glanced at it quickly, then looked away just as fast. Too fast. Something in his expression shifted, just for a second. But I caught it. A flicker of hesitation, maybe even guilt. My stomach tightened. Who is it? I asked, my voice steady but my pulse racing. It's nothing, he said, reaching for the phone, flipping it over so the screen was hidden. But I had already seen the name. It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't just anyone. It was someone I knew. My breath hitched. Wait, you already talked to someone about this? His silence told me everything. This wasn't just some passing thought. He had taken steps without me. And suddenly, this wasn't just a request anymore. It was something much bigger, something I wasn't sure I was ready for. A cold wave rushed over me as I stared at the phone, my mind racing. He hadn't just thought about this, he had planned it. Without me. I swallowed hard. Who is it? My voice was quieter now, steadier, but I felt anything but calm. He hesitated before answering. It's just a friend. Someone I thought could help, in case you were open to it. His words were careful, but I could see it in his face. There was more to this. I exhaled, my hands gripping the couch cushion. So, you made this decision for us? His jaw tightened. No, He stopped himself, looking away. I didn't think you'd say yes if I didn't make it real first. That stung. Not just the secrecy, but the fact that he doubted me. And then the real twist hit me. It wasn't just about what he wanted. It was about control. I stood up, my heart pounding. You didn't ask me because you wanted my opinion. You asked because you already decided. His silence confirmed it. I had been so focused on the request itself, I hadn't seen the real issue. It wasn't about one night. It was about trust. And in that moment, I wasn't sure if we had any left. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. I stood there, waiting for him to say something, anything, that would make this feel less like a betrayal. But he just sat there, eyes lowered, hands clenched together. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to shout. But more than anything, I wanted to understand why. Did you ever think about how this would make me feel? My voice was quiet, but the weight behind it was undeniable. He looked up then, and for the first time, I saw something I hadn't noticed before. Regret, maybe even fear. I thought I was doing something for us, he admitted. I didn't realize I was doing it for myself. I let out a shaky breath. That was the answer I needed. Not an apology, not an excuse, just the truth. And in that truth, I found my own. This wasn't about his request anymore. It was about what we had lost along the way. Trust, honesty, respect. I picked up his phone and placed it back on the table between us. I need time, I said simply. He nodded, understanding. As I walked away, I knew one thing for sure. Some doors, once opened, could never be closed again.